shut down Jefferson? Can you shut down Smith and Brown?
That's tough. The more there are, the tougher it is. I think they got 6. They got 6 Pro Bowlers on the offense and probably 3 snubs. Yeah, I mean, this is a talented group we're getting ready to face, and it's going to be a challenge for us.
What changed? You didn't complain when all these guys were hurt. You didn't like it, but you just kept going. But in the first game against the Eagles, there was no McKinney, there was no Fedori, and there was no Leo. Do you think the Eagles have really seen what this defense is all about yet?
I didn't complain to you. My wife, on the other hand, Laura, she heard some complaints. No, we'll wait and see. With how they view us. I'm worried about how we view ourselves and going to win this game. It's in the long run now. At the end of it, going in, being in the playoffs, what it's done is help prepare our younger guys. Like Dane coming in the game, didn't flinch. And played 3 different spots. Because I told you it's positionless defense. He's, credit to him in the way he studies the game, and he studies our package and their package, and he executed flawlessly. And credit to Rome and Mike, the way that he has all those guys prepared.
A lot from your regular season finale when he was out there battling with AJ Brown, essentially.
I mean, I think that any experience people gain, and you'd have to ask him that probably, but I just know that he's playing good football for us.
Wait, you go from a quarterback who was really a pocket quarterback.
Right.
So this week you've got the guy who's got wheels.
Yeah.
How much different is it, and how much more of a challenge is it to stop first?
I mean, he can, everybody's saying he's having an MVP season, and I agree, because he can beat you with his legs. He can beat you just being a drop-back quarterback. He can beat you with a sore shoulder. He can beat you a lot of different ways, and that's a great challenge because, there's a few, just a few quarterbacks that can do it that way. And, you can have him dead to rights back there in the pocket, and he's a magician. He'll get out of it. And I just really, I'm not happy for the guy right now because I'm preparing for him, but you can see the work that he put in the past offseason and where he's at today is, to me, is 2 completely different quarterbacks. And, out of respect to the game, you respect that you can see the hard work that he put in. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge.
What about from week 18 just till now? How much a different quarterback do you expect? Because they look like they were obviously using him differently in that game.
Well, he's off the injury report, so I'm expecting Jalen Hurts the MVP candidate. And I think if you expect anything less, you're kidding yourself because, the guy's definitely a competitor.
This is something that kind of predates your arrival here, but why has Boston Scott been able to basically be a Hall of Famer against the Giants?
Well, it predates my time here. I can't answer that. He's a good running back. They got a stable of good running backs. So I can't answer it.
Well, he scored against you guys.
But I know just because he scored. I don't think he's a giant killer. I can't.
Mike, what do you think has made the Eagles so successful at rushing the quarterback?
I think the first thing starts, they're really talented players. They have a really talented group. Their depth, super talented. It's not just like the front 4. They got backups, guys that are perennial all-pros and Pro Bowlers. They're well coached, right? They have a good scheme, and they're sound with their scheme, and they do a lot of good stuff on defense. So we gotta have a good week of prep.
Mike,
Aziz, what is it like going from a guy who's pretty static in the pocket to a guy like Jalen Hurts?
We just gotta come in, execute the game plan coach wants us to do it. Still gotta play like ourselves, just because he's a mobile quarterback, still don't mean we gotta change things up. It just gotta be us,
Well, what kind of problems does it present to have a multifaceted quarterback like that?
Yeah, he can get out the pocket, he can move with his legs, he can make extend plays. So, we got to finish and try to get some before he do that.
You had 2 sacks in the first game against them. Obviously, the defense did not have a great game. What do you remember about that game? What did you like?
Man, I feel like we let them have, a couple plays. They had a couple big plays on us, and, couldn't get him back. Now we get another chance right here, another opportunity this Saturday. We're gonna put it all out there and try to get this win. You know?
You feel like the third time's gonna be the charm after losing twice to this regular season?
Man, we all want to win. That's all. That's the goal. We all want to know. You know, how many chances we get, just want to win.
What are you expecting from that Philly crowd?
You know they're gonna be loud. You know, for sure. And we just gotta keep our composure and just try to play ball, play the game we do our job. You know?
Obviously, there's a history of not winning.
Is there anything you can take from the Justin Jefferson matchup to the potential A.J. Brown one, or are they just two totally different receivers?
I think just trying to keep stacking days, coming into work every day. Just trying to put your best foot forward and try to just win the day. I think that's the only thing you can do. You can't really, focus on the past and what you did. It's about what you're trying to do. And for us, it's just get better every day and try to go 1-0.
What makes A.J. so good?
Man, he is just a dog. I would say, I don't know how any other ways to explain it. A guy that gets after it, attacks the ball, can run every route in the playbook, hit you with a screen, go 80, a slant, go 80, or hit you with a deep ball and go 80. So, complete receiver, can block and do all the things that you would want. Man, so truly a great player.
During Tennessee for A.J.'s first 2 years.
Right.
Am I right? So, what was he like as a rookie? And did you guys go against each other a lot in practice? And what were those matchups like?
I think as a rookie, he is what he is now. I think he always possessed that, that mentality to attack, to be different, in this league, and you can see that every week. And I think he goes and sets that out every week. And I feel like he's been doing that since his rookie year. It goes credit to him and his mentality to go out there and try to prove that he's the best regardless of the situation. I mean, we go from a team that really don't throw the ball to now he's getting like 1,000 yards every year. And he's been very impactful, and just proving that he's dominant in this league.
I know you haven't been here very long, but just what are your thoughts about Eagles fans, and also what kind of atmosphere are you expecting on Saturday?
I'm expecting a great environment. Obviously going down there, it's a division opponent, but it's a playoff game, so I expect them to be fired up and rowdy like I expect any team that's at home to be. Even was in Minnesota, they was out there turned. And it was, the Wild game we had before Christmas was loud, and this game was different. So even when we were there 2 weeks ago when we went down there, it was loud then, but I expect it to be louder. So just expecting, a great environment. It's something that you dream of playing in and having that moment.
Do you prefer hearing the roar of the crowd when you make a big play, or do you like the silence when you make a big play? Quieting a crowd or basically revving one up?
I think they both go hand in hand. It's just when you do it at the crib, it's something that you live for. That the crowd cheering for you, but when you can silence the crowd as well. I think that's the cool thing about playing defense, because you get a little bit of bang for your buck. Like you either silence them or you can turn up the crowd at home. So I think they both go hand in hand.
Jalen, I'm also looking forward to trying to, we're right, try to get back a little payback for what happened earlier when you guys played these guys.
It's definitely always a good opportunity when you get to see a team again. Seeing them a third time is it's definitely going to be a good game.
What are you expecting to see from Jalen Hurts?
I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's in the MVP race, so and it's the playoffs, so I expect to see his best.
You talked yesterday about every team kind of putting a bounty on him, right? Basically about teams going after his shoulder or arm that he injured. What do you make of that?
I mean, he's a great player, so just me being an edge rusher, you see, when just across the league, that's people scheme against the great players. So, of course, teams are going to scheme against him as being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I would say for us, we just got to do what we can to contain him.
Are you made aware of that he might be favoring a specific side with an injury like that when you see him on the shoulder?
No, I haven't really seen it. I mean, quarterbacks, they're not really too ambidextrous when it comes to throwing, so I'm pretty sure he can still throw the ball.
But he runs too. That's the thing.
I haven't really looked too much into that. Yeah.
That first game you played against them was not the way this defense has really played all year. What did you see in that game from them, and maybe what you guys didn't do?
We didn't stop the run. Stopping the run it's a pillar of football, and once you kind of lose that ideology, you kind of lose the core of your team. So we had to really hone in on that and kind of get back to who we are.
What do you think about when you think about your performance in that game specifically?
Just trying to bring more. It's the playoffs now. This week is all we got.
While you have a different game plan, you're scheming different against this offense. How do you replicate just the way you guys executed and just the intensity you brought against Minnesota now Saturday?
It starts today. It starts in practice. It starts with recovery. It starts maintaining our bodies, and it's just about being a pro and doing that extra, whatever it is extra that you need individually to play your best ball on Saturday.
As a student of the game, is there a part of you that looks at the other side of the ball in terms of the Eagles and how they've been so successful rushing the quarterback? Do you admire and that you try to pick apart, maybe?
I mean, of course, just seeing, starting back, going way back in the season when we played against the Ravens and seeing, how much, obviously, he was able to do back then. And now, transitioning that to the Eagles, just seeing, you gotta be disciplined. There's not, everybody wants to be Superman. Everybody wants to do everything, but, you can't do that when you're playing with a guy who can make you pay. So you got to stay true to your assignment.
When you think about that first matchup with the Eagles, do you look at it as they really beat us, or was it a game that just happened to get away from us?
I think, there's always there's two sides of any sport. There's the stat line and there's the numbers, and then there's how the games, really went. And I feel like, that first game for me, it was an execution game, right? We played hard. We did a lot of good things, but we didn't execute to the level that they did. So, when it got to the end, they were able to pull it out. But when you talk about, moving forward, I think minimizing those mistakes and minimizing places where we can beat ourselves, I think that'll be, one of the keys for us.
Kayvon,
you're an aggressive player. Obviously, you want to attack and get to the quarterback. But when you play someone like Jalen, who has the ability to hurt you with your legs, do you have to be more disciplined or more cognizant of maybe don't get too far up, because then he can kind of squirt by you?
Definitely. You never want to. What can be your strengths can also be your weaknesses. So you never want to kind of get outside of your frame of the game, and you want to use those tips and tools that you get throughout the week to kind of help you prepare. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know generally that the rule in the NFL is it's in the past, it's in the past, move past it. But with the way that first game went against Philadelphia, can you gain anything from maybe pulling motivation from it getting out of hand?
Yeah. You can learn from the good, the bad, the ugly. Obviously the first game, they got up right away. Offensively, I think we did some pretty good stuff, but we could be a little more consistent. And at the end of the day, we know they're a talented team. They have how many Pro Bowlers, how many All-Pros. They're number one team in the NFC for a reason. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but you could definitely go back and look at film and, also, like I said, learn from the good, the bad, and ugly.
What do you think? You have not rushed over 100 yards against the Eagles since you were a rookie. What is it about them that is giving you, and the Giants in particular, trouble throughout the years?
They're a good team. They've been really good these last couple of years. Ever since I've been in the league. My first year in the league was the year after they won the Super Bowl. They've been a really good team. That's really it.
Have you noticed Philadelphia a number of times now? What are you expecting from the crowd, the atmosphere, now that it's the playoffs? I mean, Dex talked about not wanting his mother to come to the game. What are you expecting?
Pretty much the same, but my mom and dad definitely going to show up to that game. I'm not going to say it's going to be the same, but Philly's Philly. Like, their fan base is, it's crazy. They're going to be loud. There's going to be cheers. There's going to be boos, and there might be some double birds. That's Philly, It was funny when we were coming into the game last time. We were coming in, and we were just like a little kid and his parent. And I was just was staring. I was like, I want to see if he's gonna flip us off. He's gonna flip us off. And he did it. He just gave us a thumbs down. I was like, okay, we're going the right direction here. But playoffs is definitely. I expect it to be a hostile environment. This is playoffs. I mean, that's how it's gonna be. You know how Philly fans are, and growing up in Pennsylvania. Obviously, I was a Philly fan growing up. I had a lot of Philly fans. I know how passionate they are. So it's gonna be fun. And this is stuff that you dream about as a kid in an atmosphere like was in Minnesota, and another atmosphere, a great atmosphere, and going to Philadelphia.
That was crazy
for you. The fact that you are from, I'm sure you grew up with a lot of your friends were Eagle fans and stuff.
years against the Eagles? Does that mean anything to you?
No, I wouldn't say it mean anything to me. I kind of got over that phase when my first game at Penn State. That's when the only time was like, because I played at Temple in the first game, and like coming to Philly. But like other than that, like playing in Philly, it means something because I represent New York Giants, and you know they're a tough opponent. And if you want to get to where you got to go, where you want to go, you got to get through a team like that.
Saquon, you guys, you mentioned how it's hard to play in Philadelphia. You haven't played in every one, but you guys have had some real heartbreaking losses there. Do those multiply? Do they stay with you at all? I mean, I think 18, 19, and 20 blew double-digit leads at all. When you go back there, do those memories creep in at all?
No. Yeah, I was a part 18, 19. I ain't playing 20 because of my knee. But no, you don't. It's like a fresh start. Like, it's a whole new season. I know everyone's like, oh, when the playoffs start, the season finally starts. Yeah, it's a whole new season. Anything that happened early in the season does not have a correlation to what's going to happen throughout the game. Obviously, you can learn from it in film and you can expect what's going to happen. But whatever happened 2, 4, 5, 8, I saw a stat. We haven't beat them since 2000, whatever. That's all in the past. Only thing we got is right now, this opportunity coming up on Saturday night against a really good team.
How hard, you've been everywhere in the league, how hard is it to play in Philadelphia? There are fans, there's that stadium. How hard is this visiting environment?
I mean, I guess it is. I guess you said it's a tough place to play. But after a while, you know, once you get settled into the game, you know, you're really not. It gets loud here and there, you know, when they got a little momentum and everything. But, I mean, we just played Minnesota. It gets pretty loud there, too. You know, once you settle into the game, it's okay.
The Giants haven't won there since 2013. It's a long time ago. You were on a Detroit team, I assume, probably hadn't won in Lambeau in years, or probably hadn't won in Minnesota in years. Does that ever get psychological with the team? When you go to a place that you haven't won in a long time?
I don't really think about it. Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, you always try to change that, especially since it's playoffs. You definitely want to go in there and get a win. So, yeah, I think the only thing we worried about is just going in there, playing our best game of football.
How tough was it to be on the sideline when the Eagles scored 48 points here, and how much are you and NJ guys looking forward to kind of showing that things are going to be different this time?
I mean, it was tough to be on the sideline for every game that I was hurt. I mean, it was no different than all the other games that I missed. But we know we got a new opportunity going into this game. We've been preaching all week. You know, we only get one chance, we only get one shot. You know, obviously now, if you lose, you're out. So I think everybody knows the magnitude of that. So we're just taking it, thinking of it that way and taking it day by day, and just trying to make sure we, prepare the right way and make sure that we're ready on Saturday.
Because you didn't play in that matchup and Adoree also was sidelined, does the excitement level go up maybe a little bit higher, knowing that you guys can have an impact and an imprint on this game?
I mean, it's exciting for me every game, no matter the game. I played in big games before, so I mean, it's not. I try not to be too high, try not to be too low, but I try to be even the whole way through. Because I know you can, I've played in big games and got beat bad before, so it makes no difference of being excited or not being excited. You got to go in there and play. You got to go in there and compete. So that's how I see it.
Xavier, is there something about their backup running back, Boston Scott, that gives you guys a hard time? I'll give you the stat. Like 50% of his career rushing yards are against you, 50% of his career passing yards are against you, and receiving yards, and 10 of his 17 career touchdowns are against you. You meaning the Giants. What? Something about him that gives this defense trouble?
No.
How much more disciplined does the secondary, including you, have to be when you have a quarterback like Jalen that can throw off platform and then he's going to scramble?
Playing against him, I played with him before, so I know how much he brings to the table. I know how competitive he is as a player, as a person, and I know how great of a quarterback he is and a leader that he is. So it's going to be a challenge for us. We all know that. So just of having him him being out there for them, obviously it elevates their game a lot, and it makes them that much better. Like I said, we just got to be prepared and be ready to compete. This is a competitive team. They got a lot of talent, a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. So we just got to be ready to go because it's gonna be a challenge.
You're on opposing sidelines this week, but is there a pride factor for you just to see how happy you are for him, his evolution from Bama to Oklahoma, and then now with Philly?
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising though. Like I said, I know how he works. I know how he carries himself, on the field and off the field. He's, a guy that inspired me, when I was at Bama. Just being on the team and seeing how he worked and how he, did things, went about things. So it's not surprising, the jumps that he's made, the progression that he's made. And usually when you go to Bama, you see a lot of guys, we can make those jumps and we can progress and get better as we go. Yeah.
And we talk a lot about Hurts. Your relationship with Devonta Smith at all?
Yeah. We're in the same class, so obviously we know each other really well. I was just talking to him last week before the Minnesota game. But like I said, another competitive guy, another guy that super talented. He can do a lot of things well. But it's gonna be a dogfight. He knows that, and we know that, so we'll be ready to go.